From starting a family business to saving on taxes, it is Money Monday, a segment here at 4 o'clock where we talk about easy to understand ways to navigate our finances. We do it with the help of our financial expert, Paul Hood from Hood CPAs. We have 3 good questions that came in from viewers this week. Let's jump right in, and we'll start with Julie. Julie wants to know, is there a way for someone to save on taxes after they've sold their business?
So, Julie, the word that's in that sentence is after. So normally you would say once something's done, there's nothing to do. Now, but when you sell a business, typically you have a buyer and a seller, and there's assets. It's usually an asset sale. So depending on how you allocate that purchase price or the sales price to the assets can be pretty significant. So, and a lot of contracts are silent to that. So in other words, if you allocate something that's going to create capital gains versus something that's going to create ordinary income like inventory versus goodwill, you get a lot, you get as much as a 15% tax break. So yeah, you wouldn't think so because it's after the fact, but there's definitely opportunities to save some taxes depending on how you allocate it.
All right, good to know. Next question goes to Jackson. Jackson says, I want to start a partnership with my brother. Oh boy, we've been down this road before. I live in Austin and I'm a U.S. citizen, but my brother lives in Kenya and is not a U.S. citizen. What restrictions would we face? First, 2 brothers going into business. Maybe the distance will help them a bit.
Yeah, and Brian, I don't know if we should address whether you should or shouldn't, but if you do, the restrictions are to create revenue in the United States, you have to have an ID. You have to have either a social security number or there's P10s or numbers that are for foreign nationals. So they want to make sure they get that. But other than that, there really is no issue whatsoever from a tax standpoint. From a family standpoint and saving that relationship, maybe it's not a good thing to do.
Have a plan for things go well,
That's
have a plan if things go south.
You want an exit strategy.
Yes, okay. At our last, and you never think things are going to go south with a family member.
No.
You boys, sometimes they can. I tell you, my dad and I own an asphalt seal coating company, and I know what it's like to work for my dad.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's not easy.
It can be.
All right, our last question goes to Susan. She says, I just retired. Is there a safer place other than a 401k that I can transfer my money to that would be safer from the market fluctuation? The accumulation phase is over for retirees. What should they be doing right now?
Right. So for one thing, people need to understand an IRA or 401k, that's not an investment vehicle. That's a box that you put investments in. So she would still take her 401k and roll it to an IRA. But what we put in that IRA is a different thing. And there's some things, Brian, called annuities. And you got to be real careful because for the right person, annuity is an amazing investment vehicle. For the wrong person, they're horrific. And unfortunately, there's people that sell, they're just salesmen. There's something called an indexed annuity that she may want to look at. And what an indexed annuity is, and I'm not saying it's good for her, or not giving any advice here, but an indexed annuity shares in the up in the market, but doesn't share in the down in the market. So when you have an insurance product, you're transferring risk. For your house, your life, your car, there are products that transfer the risk of the downside of losing principal. So you got to be real careful. They're not really ones you go to where you get your car insurance, but there's some good opportunities there.
All right, good stuff. And if you're watching right now, you want to ask a question that we can chat about for next Monday, you can send your question right now like they did to moneymonday@griffin.news.